What if I told you there's a proven strategy that could take you from 0 to 7 figures in prop firm funding by the end of 2025? In this video, I'm not just going to tell you about it. I'm going to share with you step by step the exact ICT strategy I'll be using myself to scale up in 2025. And it doesn't stop there. I'll walk you through some real trade examples. This way, you will be able to see exactly how this strategy works in action. That being said, if you are serious about scaling your trading to 7 figures this year, make sure to stick till the end. And now, let's hop on the charts. The first things that you need to know about this strategy is when to trade it and on what pairs. You should trade this strategy from Monday to Friday between 2:30 p.m. and 5 p.m. UK time. Basically, right after the New York Stock Exchange opens, you will hop on the chart, and if you want to trade the London session using this strategy, you should focus trading it between 8 a.m. UK time and 11 a.m. UK time. Now, what pairs should you trade with this strategy? In my opinion, the best pairs are these ones right here that you can see in my watch list. We have gold, we have GJ, we have USD CHF, we have GBP USD, Euro USD, US 30 and NAS 100. I've backtested this strategy a lot, and the most profitable pairs were these 7 pairs here. Hence why these are the pairs I recommend. Now that you know when to trade this strategy and what pairs to trade, let me show you what you need to look for, basically the rules of this strategy. So we are here. So let's say this line here is when the trading session will start, okay, 2:30 p.m. UK time. And then this line here is, let's say, 5 p.m., okay, when the session will end. In this window here, your job is, firstly, to identify valid liquidity levels. By valid liquidity levels is identifying the most recent valid high or valid low, okay? After that, after you did this first step, you need to wait, okay? So let's say we have a valid high and we have a valid low and price is in between, okay, as here. Now, what we need to wait for is for either one of these two levels to get taken out. So let's say the upper liquidity level will get taken out, okay? It will look something like this. The upper liquidity level would get taken out right here. Now, as soon as you see this on the hourly time frame, bear in mind, we are on the 1 hour time frame now, okay? We need to wait for a liquidity level to get taken out on the hourly time frame. After we see it taken out on the hourly time frame, like we see here, we then go on the 5-minute time frame. And on the 5-minute time frame, in this case, we would want to wait for a bearish market structure shift. How does that look? Well, a bearish market structure shift looks something like this. We have a high, we have a low, we have a high, then we have an aggressive displacement. This move right here is an aggressive displacement that broke structure right here. Hence why this is a market structure shift, or of course a change of character, however you want to call it. Now, very important, after we see this shift, we need to ask ourselves, was this an aggressive shift? Because if it wasn't, we don't care, we will skip it. How can we identify whether it was an aggressive shift or not? Well, we need to look for a gap, we need to look for an imbalance. Do we have imbalance that was left behind? If the answer to that is yes, then that is great, because on the fair value gap is where we will want to enter the trade. So let's say, for example, here we have a shift to the downside, an aggressive one. We would like to enter on the fair value gap right here, stop loss above the high, and then we would like to target 2RR. This would be our entry criteria. But there is more to it when it comes to this strategy, because personally I like to take A+ setups only. More on that later when I will go through some real trade examples, and you will see exactly what I look for in order to consider a setup A+. Now I'm just showing you the basic rules of this strategy. So, like I said, we will enter on the fair value gap and target 2RR, and this would be the ideal scenario where the trade trigger us in and then go straight to the take profit. Now, let's talk about the opposite scenario. So right here we have a valid high and we have a valid low right here. These are our hourly liquidity levels. Now, let's say the bottom one will get swept. In this case, okay, we have a sweep of the bottom one. We don't know it's a sweep yet. We never know it's a sweep. We assume price could give us a sweep by going on the 5-minute and waiting for the market structure shift. If there's no market structure shift, then there's no setup. So now that this bottom liquidity level was taken out, we will go on the 5-minute and we will look for something like this. Okay, on the 5-minute we have a low, lower high, lower low, and then boom, displacement, aggressive displacement. okay? We would like to wait for something like this, for a bullish market structure shift. Basically a change of character, a aggressive displacement to the upside. To know whether this is a valid shift or not, we ask ourselves, do we have imbalance that was left behind? Do we have a fair value gap? Let's say we do have a fair value gap right here. Then in this case, we would like to enter right on it. Okay, we would like to enter here, stop loss below the fair value gap, and we would like to target 2RR as per usual. All right, this will be our entry. Then we would enter on the fair value gap, and this would be the ideal scenario. So this is exactly what you should look for when it comes to this strategy. Now that you have a basic understanding of this strategy, we will hop on to some real trade examples, trade that I personally took and also sent in my private trading group. All right, so this will be the first trade that I'm going to discuss about. And to show you in real time my thought process behind it, I will use the bar replay mode. So right here is when I open the chart on the hourly time frame, and first thing that I did is I marked my liquidity levels. This was the upper one, this was the lower one. We can all agree that the lower one was swept. It is very easy to see that. Now, the next step would be for me to hop on the 5-minute time frame and wait for a bullish market structure shift. But before that, remember I told you guys that I want to aim to take only A+ setups. In order for me to consider a setup A+, I need to have higher time frame confluence. To do that, firstly, I zoomed out on the hourly time frame to see if we have any confluences here, and guess what? I saw a confluence right here, okay? Price was rejecting from this hourly fair value gap. So this was my first higher time frame confluence. Then I went up to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame is where I saw the most beautiful higher time frame confluence, okay? We can see price was rejecting very beautifully from this 4-hour unmitigated demand level, okay, right here. So again, higher time frame confluences stacking up. On the daily, I wasn't able to see anything, okay? I mean, on the daily, we have this huge demand where price was rejecting from, but wasn't really a huge confluence. Hence why I then went on the 1 hour, okay? And what I did is I drew a line like this, and I called it 4-hour demand to know that, okay, price is rejecting from a 4-hour demand. Then what I did is I hopped on the 5-minute. And here on the 5-minute time frame, this is exactly what I saw initially. As you can see, it's 2:30 p.m. UK time. I opened the chart, and now that I knew that we have a hourly liquidity level taken out, we also have a higher time frame confluence, I knew that this could be A+ potential. Hence why I wrote here A+ potential. And now the last thing that I needed to wait for was an aggressive market structure shift to see if we can get an A+ setup. So let's play the price on the 5-minute together and wait. Check this out. Right here we have a impulsive move, which is great, and another impulsive candle. Okay, I love to see this. I love to see candles that hold big volume. So right here we have the shift. Okay, we have the break of structure to the upside, we have the change of character, and guess what? We have a fair value gap as well. We have this fair value gap right here. Initially I wanted to enter on it, but then if I play the price further, we can see that a second fair value gap formed. And I have a rule where I wait for the first fair value gap. Then if I get another fair value gap, I will scale my entry to the second fair value gap. And if I have a third fair value gap, I will still pick the second fair value gap. And then if there's 4 fair value gaps, means that the move already happened, and I will look for a different setup. So right here, we have 2 fair value gaps. I would like to enter on this one. I place the stop loss right below this low, okay? And then I wanted to target 2RR. Very beautiful setup. Then I waited. I got triggered with the next candlestick. This is exactly when I entered the trade. And of course, like I said, this was a setup that I sent in my private trading group as well. And on that note, if you would like to work with me one-on-one, learn exactly how I trade from A to Z, and also trade with me, you should apply for my mentoring program by clicking the first link down below in the video description. Now we can play the price and see what happens. To do it faster, we can go on the hourly, okay? And let's play the price. As we can see, TP was smashed right here. Literally no drawdown at all on this setup. It was such a beautiful trade, and a lot of good profits were made on this setup. I myself made 2K on it on my prop firm account. One of my mentoring clients made almost 3K on it. Another one secured 2K on his phase 2 100K, and then on the other 100K he secured 1.8K, and there is plenty more. So now you can see exactly why this right here was an A+ setup. Now, time to go over the second trade. All right, so here I was, the trading session just started. We can see it's 2:30 p.m. UK time. The first thing that I did is I marked my liquidity levels. This one was the lower one, this one was the upper one. We can see that the lower one was taken out, okay, on the hourly time frame. And now what I did before hopping on the 5-minute is I went on the higher time frames to see if I have a higher time frame confluence. On the 4-hour, there's nothing. On the hourly, there's no confluence either. But on the daily, check this out, guys. On the daily, we were at a daily fair value gap, okay? And besides that, we also had these two lows right here that had a lot of liquidity sitting below them. And I know this might feel a bit overwhelming now with all these confluences and whatnot, but trust me, if you like this system and if you'll give it time, especially if you'll decide to join us and trade together, you will see that in a matter of weeks, it will become second nature and you will be able to spot these A+ setups, same as I do. Why do I take A+ setups only? Because you see, this system, if you would take every single setup that you see without looking for a higher time frame confluence, it will still be profitable, but it will have bigger losing streaks. And of course, the win rate will also be significantly lower. Like this, only taking the A+ setups and filtering out the ones that aren't A+, trust me, I've backtested it, and with a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, the win rate is close to 70%, which is very, very big. So knowing this, I then deleted the fair value gap here, and what I did is I drew a line to know, hey, we are at a daily fair value gap, okay, where price could definitely reject from. And now I went back on the 5-minute time frame, and now you guys know already what I wanted to wait for. I wanted to wait for a bullish market structure shift. So let's play the price and see when we will get it. Okay, check this out. Right here we have our market structure shift. The market was bearish until now. Okay, we can see it broke structure right here. It broke this high here. Okay, and we can see the volume started to become bullish. Okay, we have these bullish candlesticks here, and we also have a fair value gap. This is exactly where I wanted to enter the trade. I've sent it in my private group, and then we just waited. Okay, we just waited. This was the entry. Okay, stop loss was below this low around here, and then as per usual, targeting to RR right here. So let's wait. Right here is where we got tapped in. Okay, we entered the trade, and now we can play the price. It played around the entry level for a bit. What I liked about this trade is that it didn't close below this fair value gap. We can see how the 5-minute fair value gap was respected and price rejected from it and head straight into our TP right here. Again, another beautiful trade. This strategy works very, very good, especially on gold. You guys saw I took both of my examples were on gold. Well, that's because gold lately has been on a great run. We've catch some amazing trades on it, and it's been great, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, this is exactly how the strategy works. And now, before we end the video, what I want you guys to do is go down below in the comment section and comment, I will reach 7 figures in prop firm funding. And what I want you to do is when you will reach it, come back to this video and reply to the exact comment you wrote. I think that would be super cool and I would love to see it, I'm not gonna lie. And lastly, till the next upload, if you guys wanna see a trading challenge with me, where I traded for a full day in my car to see exactly how much money I can make sure to watch this video right here. Wishing you all the best and take care.